Hey, start again. Hey guys, welcome to this third and final part of this training. I might do another one as a follow-up after the webinar on Thursday. That's tomorrow, Thursday, 2nd of February. In case this is on YouTube, 2023. So if you've missed it, you've missed it. This is a training for trying to sell the supplements into wholesale and retail. We've already done part one where we've talked about setting out a plan of what you want to do, of what you want to achieve, like a vision plan. Second video was talking about your setup structure, business structure, invoice layout structure. In this video, I'm going to discuss the lead pipeline structure. Now, there are tons of softwares out there that can actually do this and help a great deal in Automate, but they're not cheap. They do charge quite a few $100s a month in order to use them. So what I'm going to do is going to show you the system that I used right back in the beginning before we had real cash flow running. We now use a couple of different softwares to do this, but there's no need to spend the money to do that initially. You can easily do this without having any software, and you just do it by a manual process. Okay, so we're going to talk about that, and then on the webinar on Thursday, we will be talking and teaching you about how to build essentially a lead machine to funnel into what I'm going to show you today, essentially the pipeline. I realize it's a little bit cart before the horse that we're showing you the pipeline before the leads, but the leads is what the webinar is about, and this is going to be the pipeline to manage them. So there's a couple of different ways that leads can come into your business, and both will be covered in the webinar tomorrow. Okay, we basically have two kinds of leads. We have inbound, got my pen selected. We have inbound leads, okay, and we have outbound leads. Okay, so one of them is passive and one of them isn't. One of them is proactive. Okay, so the outbound leads requires proactive work. Inbound leads essentially can be more or less fully automated. Right? Okay, so the way that the lead flow will work is, let's have a look at the inbound leads first. Let me just draw a line down there. Inbound leads, fully automated. There's going to be a few things you need to do here in order to get ready for this. Not a lot of work, and something you can do very, very cheaply. Essentially, what you need is a very, very simple website. Now, we're not talking about like the websites that Tiny Brander build, which are designed for B2C, business to consumer sales. We don't want a website like that. What we want is a very simple 1 to 3 page, maybe 4 page maximum website. Okay, super, super simple. You can use anything to build this. You can use Wix, you can use WordPress, you can use Expedia, Expedia, what am I talking about? Convertry, ClickFunnels, anything at all. And basically, it's going to be basic information. You want to be showcasing your products and your brand. Okay, if you're selling your brand, trying to sell your brand into wholesale or retail, let's take example retail, because it's the simplest one to look at. Okay, you could sell your brand into gyms, chiropractors, hairdressers, all of these places. Okay, all of these smaller retail stores you can sell into. Okay, so you can either sell your brand, okay, or you can sell their brand and sell it as a white labeled brand into them. Now you make a decision about which way you want to do that. Both ways are completely valid. the pitch to give a retail outlet its own brand is probably going to be a little bit more attractive than selling your own brand. But you could do either. Okay, and I have done either. But you need a website. You need it to, basically on the homepage, to have basically a showcase of the product, a little bit of information about it, some nice product shots in there. So you're going to probably want to order some physical products to get some nice product shots either done or do it yourself. iPhones are incredible right now. And just basically keep your eye. You know what I like to do when I'm doing this kind of thing, and it's good for the social media accounts as well. Keep your iPhone with you. Keep a supply of every product that you're selling with your brand label in a box in your car. Wherever you go, just grab a handful of products, grab your phone, just take situational shots. You know, if you're out walking in the woods, you've gone on a trail, take a picture of them and, you know, nestled in some nice nature shots. If you're out shopping, you know, put them in a shopping cart and take a picture of them in a shopping cart. Just get as many as you can. iPhone quality pictures are fine. Okay, so you want to have essentially showcasing your brand. The other pages you want is a contact us page, which has your details on it, your address, how to contact you, your email address, and a contact us form. That's important. You want people to use the form because it automates things. Okay? Now, and then probably like an About Us page is about the only other thing you need, which just is really more about you, your vision, about what you want for your brand. So pretty much that's all you need. You don't need a huge amount of information. Obviously, we're a manufacturer, so ours has a bit more information, but you really don't need that much. Okay? If you are going to be offering them white label, let's talk about that, because that's going to be important for you. An important piece of information for you to have on your website. Showcase that as your main thing, that you're able to give them their own white labeled product that they can sell in their retail store. Okay, I'm going to talk in a minute about what kind of margins to expect in this, because it's going to be different. Okay, but that's all you need for your website. Now, as I say, let me just write down what I said. So we're going to want basically the landing page, which is like a showcase page. Then a About Us page, which is really about your vision, almost like a vision statement for the company and for what you want for the brand or for what your wholesale selling, retail selling company to do, and then a Contact Us page. Okay. Now, on the Contact Us page, this is the one I really want to talk about. You're going to have a form with a submit button. Okay. Now, this is why this is automated and passive. Okay, your leads are going to come into here, into this corporate website. Okay, that's where they're going to be funneled into. Now, some of the leads won't be able to. Some of them will have to be what we call outbound leads. But a lot of them, in fact, a huge majority, can be done via inbound leads, where people are actually asking you for information. Now, these are super hot, like hot, which is why I'm talking about these first, because these are super hot leads. They've reached out to you to ask you for information. Okay, so that's why they're hot. Okay, so on the form submit, you have to have the details go into your autoresponder. And then from there, you want to have an automated email go out, basically just saying, thank you for your inquiry. One of our representatives, remember, people like to buy from companies that they believe are successful or they perceive to be successful. So it's important that you set yourself up, whether you're just a one-person operation or whether you have 10 employees, it doesn't matter. Set yourself up to appear to be a professional, established organization. So your autoresponder will say, when the email goes out, thank you for your inquiry. One of our representatives from the local office will reach out to you within the next 24 hours. If you don't hear from them within 24 hours, please email and then put your email address, and then just thank you very much. Yours sincerely, whatever, yours faithfully, thank you, kind regards, your name. That's it. Dead simple email. Don't have to be selly. Remember, they've come to you asking for information, so you don't really need to pitch them really hard. This is not the time to do that. Okay. Then, first, what's the expression? Early bird catches the worm, right? You will not, absolutely not be the first person that they're reaching out to. If they are reaching out to you, they are probably doing it with multiple people. The faster you can respond to their inquiry, the more chance you have of closing the sale. And I'll tell you why. For several reasons. Number one, most people are lazy. Most companies are lazy, especially big companies, and they take forever to get back to you. If you can instantly appear responsive, professional, courteous, and answer all of their questions with efficiency, then you have a very, very high chance of clinching the deal. Remember, they're looking for something. They've come to you. Yeah? So these are hot leads. All you have to do is be 1% better than the next best person, and you will get the business. Okay? It's that easy. This is super simple. So now there's a couple of ways you can contact them. You can email them. Okay? Probably the easiest way is just, and these aren't automated emails, okay? These are emails where you have responded, where you are going to physically send them an email, okay, and start a dialogue of correspondence, okay? So that's step one. They may want to have a meeting, a telephone call, or a Zoom meeting. That being the case, you want to have a Calendly account or some kind of online booking account where they can book some time with you to have a meeting, or you can just set it up via email. I personally like Calendly. It's nice. You can send them a link to your calendar. They can pick a time to suit them where you are free, and it's all very simple and clear. Once you have that, you begin the negotiations of what you can offer them, what they are looking for, whether you can help them. And now we're just into a conversation, and conversations are easy. Whether it's a conversation face-to-face, a lot of you may not be comfortable with that, or whether it's a conversation through email. All it is back and forth. We're not going to get into a deep, hard negotiation over this kind of thing. It just isn't going to happen. Never in my life has there been a lot of negotiation. Yeah, you offer, you tell them what you can do. They tell you what they want. If the two things meet, great. You discuss a price. You give them an estimate. If they think it's too high, they'll come back and say, I can't really do it for that price. Can we do this? And then you work out a deal between you. You send them an invoice, they pay you, you ship the goods. Or rather, in this case, we ship the goods on your behalf. Okay? Super simple. Couldn't be easier. Okay? I'll talk about negotiation in a little while. Hang on, the screen's gone blank. There we go. Okay, but that's inbound leads. A lot of it is automated. One thing I forgot to tell you. Once you are in a dialogue with these people, you have a choice whether you want to take them out of your autoresponder sequence. Right now, we've only sent them one email. But what I like to do is set up recurring emails about 10 days apart. Okay, and I know that's not a lot in direct marketing terms, but this isn't direct marketing per se. We're dealing with businesses now. You don't want to overload them with emails. You just want to send them a gentle reminder email. So if you, this autoresponder sequence that you've added into, the first email, as I said, is just thank you for your inquiry. You want to set them up about 10 days apart. With reminder emails. Okay, and they just go out like this. Each one 10 to 7 days apart. Now, what you want to do is you're reminding them that they've inquired with you, and did they want to have a conversation? Do they want to book a meeting? Do they want to go any further with it? Now, there are systems that you can do if you're using the online calendars like Calendly. If somebody books a meeting with you, you can actually arrange for them to be added into a separate autoresponder sequence or a separate list. And what you can do then in your autoresponder is remove them from one list when they get added to another list. Okay, so you actually take them out of the autoresponder sequence if they book a meeting with you. And that's a smart thing to do. Probably need some research on that. That's something that I will happily do training for in my higher level group on how to set that kind of thing up. Happy to do that, but it's really a detailed training that I can only do for my higher level group, which, by the way, you should join. It's a great group, Tiny Brander Officers Club. Just put a message to me if you want the details of how to join that. Okay, so I'm going to delete that side now, and I'm going to talk solely now about outbound leads, which are going to be the other side of the equation, which is a little bit more proactive. It's going to be a little bit more aggressive. Now, these are people who are, hang on, let me just, as I said, delete that side. Okay, so outbound leads. These are colder leads. In fact, they're stone cold leads, because these people don't know you. They haven't reached out to you. They haven't asked for anything. They don't even know you, your service, anything. They don't have a clue about you. But what you're doing is the way that these leads work is essentially you're prospecting. Okay, and the tools that we're going to show you in the webinar on Thursday will show you how to be able to do this and automate it all to actually get these cold and warm leads into the platform and into your funneling system to bring them in. So for these people, you're going to be prospecting. So essentially now what we're doing is we're throwing our line out into the water, but they're targeted people. Yeah, the leads that we provide into this platform, or this, I don't want to call it a platform because there's no platform. This system we're building, that's better. The leads we pump into it are going to be targeted. So we know that they're in the niche. We know that they are, for example, chiropractors, or maybe gyms, or personal trainers, or massage therapists. You know, all of those kind of people who could sell these kind of products under their own brand or sell your own brand. So now we're prospecting. So this is a different thing. These leads, again, we're going to drop into an autoresponder. But these leads are very different, because these ones, we're still trying to get them to that website, yeah, and back into our website. Everything goes into the website and then out through the contact system. To some degree, there are some exceptions, but in this autoresponder sequence, this is one you want to set up more aggressively. So these emails, I would literally have these ones going out daily, every single day. Just don't stop. By the way, there is no spam on B2B. You can't spam a business. As long as you're targeting businesses, you can, you should always be spam compliant, put unsubscribe links and all the rest of the good stuff in there. But don't think about, if you're sending an email every day to a business, that ain't spam. You can't spam a business. Okay? So every day going out, these emails are showcasing what you can do for them. And remember, these people are interested in making sales. They're interested in making money and providing a better service for their clients. Okay? For them, it's not about the results of the product. It's not like, I want to lose weight, I want to gain muscle, I want to be sexy, or whatever it is. These people are interested in making money. Okay? So you've got to pitch them into how this is an additional stream of revenue, which is very, very lucrative for them. Very much almost like the Tiny Brander pitch that a lot of you bought into. The fact that the supplements is a great business. You should be selling supplements. You should be selling our supplements, because our supplements are great, and we're going to give you a great deal on it. We'll even be able to white label it under your name if that's what you want, and pitch them like that. But those emails, you want to have them going out daily, and you can either, this is where I said it's the exception, I would always want to drive them initially for the first few emails to the website, like right over here. Just drive them to the website, and then they'll go through the contact form and exactly through the flow we discussed just previously. After that, you might want to mix in a few emails where you give them a direct Calendly link. Okay? You might want to, if you have a few customers under your belt, you might want to speak to those customers, ask if they would mind, recording a testimonial or giving you a referral, or talking about the service you gave. If you can get that on video, you can send them to a video. which would then link them, hang on, I'm running out of space, link them back to the website or to your Calendly to book an appointment. Okay, but this is the flow we build. This is how we build the pipeline to drive people to contact us. Because right now, as I say, the prospecting are cold leads. Once they either book in your Calendly here, or book or visit your website here, they're suddenly warmer. They're warm. They're not as warm as the people that contact you directly. Those are hot because they know what they want. They have buyer intent, and they've reached out to you. These people, stone cold when you start. If they click a link on an email, go to your website or your Calendly, and end up booking an appointment, they're warm. They're interested, but they haven't made a decision yet. Okay, so it's the difference between cold, warm, and hot leads. Okay, and yes, there's software that you can use that can actually separate all those things out. It is expensive, as I said. I'm not even going to go into it because for the most part, most of you don't need it, and you can just do all of this exactly as I've just showed you in this quick video. Now, finally, I want to talk about pricing structure because, as you know, when you're selling B2C, business to consumer, direct to consumer, there are very large margins that you can get in the supplement space, and I'm talking 10x margins. Okay, that is not unheard of at all. I would never have actually sold a product less than 10x margins ever in B2C. Okay, when you're selling wholesale and you're selling retail, that is not the case. Okay, it just is not the case. Because they have to take some of that margin because they're taking a large share of the risk. They're taking product in, they're holding it in inventory. They're going to have to distribute it. If it's retail, they have to put it on shelf and take the risk on it. So they're taking the risk, so they have to have some of the margin. Whereas in B2C, essentially you're taking all the risk, so you get all the margin. But essentially, the retail price point remains similar. Okay, so if you were selling for, let's say, $59.95 on B2C, okay, you're going to have something similar when you do when it ends up in retail sales. When it ends up one way or another, whether it's wholesale or retail, it ends up being bought by a consumer, and that's going to be the price. So what I always do, and I've always done, is work backwards from that price on using assumptions based on knowledge, essentially. So, and I work back this way. So let's take this as an example, $59.95. And this is just to help you with your negotiations with the wholesalers and retailers, by the way. So let's say that you are telling a retailer that this product would retail for $59.95. They may take a different opinion and say it can't do, it needs to be cheaper. And that is something you have to have a negotiation with and a discussion about. Okay, but at $59.95, a retailer, by and large, is going to be happy with around about a 2.5 times markup. So we take our $59.95 and divide it by 2.5. Okay, so a retailer is going to want to buy this for $23.98-ish in order to make 2.5 times markup. And if you just do the math, 23.98 times 2.5, you can see you get to $59.95. Okay, so that would be what a retail store would want to buy at. Okay. Now, depending on your route to market, you can go direct to retail and sell at $23.95, or probably, it's going to be a negotiation, $19, $20, $21, but at least roughly that a retailer will be looking for around about 2.5x. Okay? Now, the other route to market, if you don't want to have to approach multiple different retailers, is you look at wholesale. Okay, and obviously wholesale, they sell to multiple different retailers, so they've got to take a cut of this as well. Now, typically, a wholesaler will want a 2 times margin, so they're going to want 2x. So if they're going to have to sell it for $23.98 to a retailer, they're going to have to buy it at $11.99, giving them the margin in between, this margin here, in between these two. Okay, now, here's the thing. You can negotiate these prices, but if you know that a wholesaler typically is looking for around about 2x, and a retailer is looking for roughly 2.5x, then it helps you plan out and structure your quotations in what you think you can charge for a product. Okay, and obviously this will be based on how many they're going to buy. You know, once again, back to the discussion in the first video, how much is your minimum order going to be? Are you going to say that 50 is your minimum order, 10, 25, 100, 150, 200, 500, whatever it is you set, but you need a price structure that works up and down that scale. Because if somebody comes in and buys 10, and you've really gone cheap on your price, when they come back and say want 100, they're going to want a massive discount because they have 10x their volume. So they're going to want a big discount. And if you've already gone really low, you've got nowhere to go. Just remember that. Okay, this is designed to help you structure your costings to these people. Remember, you can check all of your prices from Tiny Brander within the Tiny Brander platform. It shows them all in your store settings. Okay, very simply, quickly go over this. As and when you get orders in from wholesale customers, you just put that through the bulk buy section in your Tiny Brander account, and we'll ship it all direct, completely blind to the wholesalers. Okay, guys, that's pretty much everything I wanted to go through today. So a couple of things to remind you of. Webinar tomorrow, Thursday the 9th. Keep forgetting the day. Thursday the 9th at 2 p.m. EST. Be on there. This is now going to show you how to create now the leads that are going to funnel in to this system I've just described. Okay, so we're going to give you a complete lead machine to do that and show you how to build that lead machine. So that's the webinar tomorrow. Please, 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 please be on that. It is vitally important. Without leads, none of these videos that I've created over the last few days are going to help you. None of them. So please sign up for that webinar. I think you'll find it really useful. And also, if you do want like more detailed trainings, deeper trainings, please, you can just sign up to the Tiny Brander Officers Club. Just drop support@tinybrander.com an email, and they will send you all of the links. That's it for today, guys. Thanks very much. See you later. Bye-bye.